Did you know that 4 out of every 10 kids have a limited vocabulary that affects their learning? Does your child use the same words over and over and over again, and you want to teach them new words? Well, this is the video for you. Today we are going to go over how to expand your child's vocabulary by teaching them new words. Welcome to Educate Our Youth. This channel is all about parents owning their lives and owning their children's education, because we are children's first educators and we want to take ownership and create a community where we join together to shape the future. Today we are going over how to expand our children's vocabulary by teaching them new words. If your child simply just isn't talking yet, I suggest that after this video, you watch the How to Get Your Child to Talk video. You will see it above me. You will also see it below in the description. Alright, so today we are going over 4 ways that we can help our children learn new words. The first way we can teach our child to learn new words is to simply talk to them. And we want to talk to them using the words we want them to use in their vocabulary. After I've used the word in a sentence and taught my child the meaning of that word, once my child says the word, I want to reinforce that word by simply stating the word again in a sentence. Children are sponges, and it's more likely for them to use a word if they're constantly hearing the word used. If Pop-Pot is a word that my child already knows and I want to introduce them to the word toilet, I may say, "Go Pop-Pot in the toilet." Yay! You use the bathroom in the toilet. And once they say the word back to me and they say, "Yay, I went Pop-Pot in the toilet," I can reinforce that word again by repeating, "Yay, yes you did. You went Pop-Pot in the toilet." Now they've heard the word toilet 3 times with me saying it, and they've also used the word 1 time. So they're learning the word toilet simply by me saying the word. You also want to make sure that you're saying the word in a sentence so that they can learn not only the new vocabulary word, but they're also going to learn the word's meaning because you're using that word in a sentence. They're going to learn that word because it's used in its context. So they're going to pick up on context clues on exactly how that word is used. For example, if I want to teach my child the word plethora, instead of using a lot, I would say, "Ooh, you have a plethora amount of crayons there." And they're going to say, "Plethora? Yes, you have a plethora. You have a lot of crayons." Notice how I said the word and I said a synonym of the word just in case they weren't able to connect that new word. And I'm going to continuously use that word plethora in my vocabulary until they learn that word. It's almost like a trade exchange, only with words. You give me a word you already know, I give you a new word. The more a child hears a word, the more likely it is for them to use that word in their vocabulary. So you're teaching them a new word, the context in which that word is used, and the meaning of that new word. According to School Run, parent-child interactions is one of the biggest factors that influences a child's vocabulary. We have to teach them by simply using new vocabulary words when we talk. The second way that you can teach your child new words is to read to them every chance that you get. I know that I am always talking about reading to your children, but parents, it truthfully is one of the biggest factors in teaching children vocabulary. If you feel uncomfortable with reading to your child, or you just want to know, am I doing it right? Check out my How to Read to Your Child video. I have it above and I also have it in the description. I go over exactly how to read to your child because reading influences your child learning new words and expanding their vocabulary. Don't just stop reading once they're able to read to themselves. In fact, you want to read from the time they are born all the way until they're teenagers, because just because your child is reading independently does not mean they're learning new words when they read. For example, when children come to a word that they don't know, their phonics skills automatically tip off and they're now trying to decode that unknown word. They spend so much time and energy into deciphering exactly how to say the word and how to decode that word and break that word apart that they are not paying attention to how that word is used in this context. So they're not using context clues because they just want to know, what is this word and am I saying it right? I can read the same book that my child just read independently, but when I read it, they're not worried about decoding that word. They're able to pick up how that word was used in its context and use their context clues to figure out the word's meaning. The third thing that you can do to teach your child new words is to label. Use labels around your home in order to create a print-rich environment. I went in detail with this in my How to Create a Literacy Environment at Home and in the Classroom video, so make sure you check that out. And in that video, I go over exactly how to set up that print-rich environment and how to use labels, because labels connect objects with words. Setting a print-rich environment is crucial if you have a toddler or an early learner at home, because they're learning words with their actual objects and they're able to connect the dots and put two and two together just by looking at their world around them. You're wanting them to connect print with the actual objects, so creating a print-rich environment is crucial. I created at-home labels for you. You don't have to stress about it. All you have to do is click on the Teachers Pay Teachers link below in the description and you can download your at-home labels. And you just simply print them and label your home. Guys, it truthfully is a game changer in teaching toddlers and early learners new words. The fourth and final way that you can teach your child new words is to explicitly teach them new words. One way you can explicitly teach your child a new word is by incorporating a word of the week. That's where I'm using one word over and over and over within a week. My child's saying that word over and over correctly in a week, and they're also writing the word within their writing. This works really well with older children because they can focus on one word. For example, if I wanted to teach my child the word plethora, I'm using the word plethora, and I expect my child to use the word plethora all week in its correct context. So I'm making sure that they're saying it right in their sentences. I'm also making sure that they're using the word when they're writing. Each time I hear them say the word plethora correctly, or they're writing the word plethora correctly, they simply get a sticker or a check or an X, whatever it is that you want to use. And at the end of that week, if they use that word, 20 times if that's our goal, then they get a trip to Cold Stone to get ice cream or a cookie or whatever it is that you want to reward them with. They would get that at the end of the week. And each week we choose a new word. The next way that you can explicitly teach your child new vocabulary words is through the use of flashcards. Flashcards are ways that your child can connect an object with its print. For example, these are my child's shaped and colored flashcards. You see they have a blue triangle that has the word blue at the top, and it also has the word triangle at the bottom. So she's actually learning a shape and a color simultaneously through these pack of flashcards. Now parents, you don't want to do drill and skill, especially with a 2-year-old. You simply want to teach and reinforce new words. So you should only spend about 3 to 5 seconds on a flashcard at a time. If you come to a word that your child doesn't know, you can ask them, well, what color is this? Green, because my daughter knows her colors, but she does not know the shape. So once I get her to say green, I can say, yes, green diamond. And I go to the next one. I'm not about to keep drilling and skilling her with green diamond. I go to the next one. Well, what color is this? Blue. What shape? Square. Blue square. And I'm just going to the next one. What is this? Red circle. So I'm not going to drill and skill her, but I'm simply reinforcing the new vocabulary word with the object. And if you notice, I use my tracking finger as I said the word, so that just cues her eyes and her brain to focus on the word that I'm pointing to. Typically, you only want to spend about 5 or 10 minutes a day going over flashcards because you're wanting it to be a fun time with you and your child. If you make flashcards dreadful, your child will hate to learn new words. And you don't want to turn this into a punishment, but you want to make learning new words and flashcards and learning fun. For older kids, you can actually use word games to teach them new words and expand their vocabulary. So set a family night aside where you play word games such as Scrabble or Upwords or Headband. In fact, I'm just going to include some different word games that you and your child can play down below in the description. So please make sure that you check them out so you have a list of games that you can play with your child. And when you set those fun family game nights aside, your child is learning new words through games and having fun. They don't even realize that they just learned a new word. You can also explicitly teach your child new words through learning apps. If you want to learn more about free educational apps that teach your children new words, I actually did a video on learning apps made by Fisher-Price. Please make sure you check it out. One of the apps actually goes over first words. The last way I'm going to talk about explicitly teaching your child a new word is by creating a word wall or a word bank in which they can use new words. So once you've already taught a child a new word, you can simply put it in a word bank or some type of chart that they can go back to refer to. Now with younger kids, you want them to verbally use the words that you have placed in the word bank. For older kids, you want them to use the words verbally and write these words within their writing. For my toddler, I have a word bank behind the door of her bedroom that has the words of these shapes. It not only has the shapes that she knows, but it has the shapes that she doesn't know, all within one bank, because I want her to explicitly use all of these words as we go around our day-to-day. I want her to say square, triangle, circle, rectangle, etc. So we go over these words and I put them in my word bank. For younger kids, you have to give them some type of visual. They are visual learners. So I not only have the word circle, but I also have a visual of a circle so that she remembers that this word is circle and that this is a circle. With older kids, you still want to use visuals as much as possible when applicable. For a word like plethora, it may not be necessary that they have a visual cue that this word means a lot. But for a word like igneous rock, I may just have a picture that I printed out of an igneous rock right next to that vocabulary word. This way, kids are not only seeing the vocabulary words, but they're also expected to use vocabulary words both verbally and in written expression. Well guys, we have learned 4 ways to teach our children new words and expand their vocabulary. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you learned how to expand your child's vocabulary, simply give this video a thumbs up. Please make sure that you include your comments below of any feedback or new tips and tricks that you have. Guys, let's build this community in order to join together to shape the future. Don't forget to subscribe below. Subscription is really important. If you missed any of my literacy videos, make sure that you check them out and binge watch them if you may. Thank you guys so much, and I look forward to you educating our future. See you